Hello guys, it's 2SS Danny bringing you guys another video. This video was highly suggested in my TikTok slash YouTube shorts on how to become a better player in Counter-Strike. I'm about 26.5k elo. I just dropped a little bit because the last two games were kind of difficult for me. I'm not going to say they were cheaters, but you know, I definitely did play like shit. So that was one part of it. And I did play ESCA and Faceit and have about like 8k hours into this game alone. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Aiming is a big part in CS, and it's one of those things that takes a lot of time to practice. Even the best players in the pro scene are still learning new things every single day, every single week. The best way to practice your aim is by going to certain community maps like Aimbots, Mirage Pre-Fire, Dust 2, Pre-Fire, community-based servers. What I like to do is spend around 15 to 30 minutes for a basic warm-up. I think that's like a rough ideal time that you should be spending on warming up before going to your competitive or premier matches, or even Faceit. I will go to Aimbots for about 5 to 10 minutes just to train my aim and flicks, just to see like how it's going. Then I will hop off and go to any community-based server that's a deathmatch, free-for-all, whatever you guys prefer to call it. I know some people can't get access to community servers when they immediately click search, but I'm gonna give you a simple solution that my friend gave me that works very well. First, go to games. It will already say CS2, select another game like COD or Gmod, then search for servers. Cancel the search, then select CS2 again, and then search for free-for-all or deathmatch or any other like server that you're trying to really look for. It'll pop up. And then click on latency to get the best servers that are near you. I would hop on to practice my pre-aiming spots and my one-taps and my recoil control. It gives you a perfect perspective where players will be playing at a comp game or a premier match. You could test things out that could work out for you. So always try and always see what's not working and what's working. I usually stay there for 15 to 20 minutes on a deathmatch or a free-for-all server just to see like where players might be playing and stuff like that, where to be pre-aiming, or to kind of like put it in my brain. After all, it's all muscle memory. After playing a few games, I would hop onto a pre-fire map that the community created, and it gives you an idea where players might sit in your games. As I mentioned before, pre-aiming is also key to getting kills and getting better at the game. It's not an overnight thing, and keep practicing till you master it. As you can see by a few clips of these, you could tell that pre-aiming areas where enemies might be can give you an easy kill, gives you a big advantage. My biggest pet peeve is when someone stares at the floor with their crosshair and have their knife out when an enemy could be around the corner. So try to keep your crosshair at head level and try to have at least your pistol or your AK or M4, whatever gun you have, out, because an enemy could just pop out of nowhere and you could get killed. Always expect someone to be around you or near you, unless you are certain that the enemy is not there. This is another key factor to winning your games more and being a better player than most average players. I can't stress enough of how many times I would be playing games in my elo, which you would expect people in my elo to know this, that they don't know basic smokes. I was playing Ancient one time and I asked one of my teammates to smoke Red Room and they didn't know how to smoke it. Gives the enemies a better advantage of killing me if I were to peek mid. So now it's either I gamble it or I have to play somewhere else and allow the CTs to control mid. It's a simple search on YouTube and how to learn certain places, like smoke certain places on certain maps. A lot of big creators and small creators like myself have uploaded videos of like different maps to smoke, flash, molly, nade. So it literally takes like 5 minutes out of your time just to kind of look at the video, and then maybe like another 10 minutes to 15 minutes to kind of practice it to see if you actually got it. It really doesn't hurt. It won't hurt you and it won't hurt your teammates. So might as well go and practice these smokes and flashes. Know your pop flashes and know how to properly do it. What I like to do is to go on a private server on your own and practice pop flashes that will work. Pop flashes will surprise the enemy and give you a free kill. Flashes are your biggest best friend. Flashes will help you out so much. You could take an easy duel by using them correctly. Don't waste them. Again, it's not an overnight thing. This is something that takes hours to master. Even to this day, after playing 8,000 hours of Counter-Strike, I'm still learning new pop flashes, new areas to flash. So don't beat it, you know? This is another thing that grinds my ears, is people not shoulder peeking the right areas. I have seen so many times that people would just swing right open wide without the proper crosshair placement and then they get killed. Practice shoulder peeking on a private server or a community-based server. It's a way to give your team information on the other side, what they're up to. And hell, if you're good, you could take a shot and you could get an easy one tap. It makes you harder to also get shot. So shoulder peeking is definitely a must, and it's one part of like the movement skill issue that people seem to have. A lot of people just like to wide swing, right open, they get killed, and they blame you and stuff like that, which they should have just been shoulder peeking to see if the enemy is there or not. Or both of you should be shoulder peeking, especially if you're playing Inferno on mid. Another thing that grinds my ears is the fact that people don't peek together. As I was mentioning before, don't be that guy who completely blocks me and gets me killed later on because I couldn't get a proper shot on him. You got in my fucking way. Also, please, for the love of God, don't go one by one. What I mean by that is if your teammate is peeking an enemy and dies, then 3 seconds later, you decide to peek, 50% of the time, you're probably going to get shitted on, unless you're really good. The other side knows and will expect another player to peek him. He could have already moved to a different position by the time you peek and when your teammate gives out the call. What y'all should be doing is peeking together side by side. This will make the enemy confused unless he's a really good player and gets 1 kill off. You can easily get the trade and boom, it's a 4 versus 4. Worst case scenario, you guys are both shit and he decides to clap the fuck out of you. That's when cross replacement comes into play. Now, this is going to be a really big controversial topic for the Faceit community, and I feel like the Faceit community will also hate me for saying this, but play Faceit. If you're at least like 15k elo and have a good knowledge about the game, the call outs and the smokes and the flashes, I would say play Faceit. After all, I was in your position too. Back then, an ESEA was one of the biggest platforms where pro players and highly skilled players actually play on that server, and I'm pretty sure Faceit bought ESEA or like they kind of merged together. I don't know what's the whole story because I did take like a 2-year break of Counter-Strike. During those 2 years, that's when the whole transition happened. I have met some pretty cool people there too while playing on ESEA, and they gave me so much advice on how to become a better player, how to avoid certain deaths, how to proper execute, give me ideas on how I died, how can I prevent it. Yes, CS community may be toxic at times, but you eventually cross paths with people who are really nice and willing to help you out to become a better player. But playing Faceit will give you a better idea how highly skilled players play. You can follow their plays and use it on another match or a day. So definitely give Faceit a try. Again, like I said, 15k elo with some knowledge of smokes and callouts. Don't be that guy that is just completely brand new to the game, doesn't know how to smoke, doesn't know how to flash, doesn't know the proper callouts, to go on a Faceit game and ruin everyone's pug in elo. You know, after all, everyone wants to get to level Faceit 10, probably get to FPL. You know, a lot of people actually want to get into the pro scene. Like, it's really highly competitive. So if you really want to beat one of those guys or just highly skilled players, give Faceit a try. It's gotta help you out so much. Again, like I said, I was in your position before. As soon as I got to DMG back in CSGO or LE, that's when I decided to go on ESEA, got it to A+, got to rank G. Sadly, didn't get to rank S, but I got to rank G, went to Open, went to IM, and I was almost close to main. Movement is another key factor to becoming a better player. Some ways to practice movement is by shoulder peeking, like I mentioned earlier. Get to certain spots faster. You may ask, like, how can I practice my movement? One thing you could do is by downloading a few KZ maps and try their like community servers that are KZ based. Some maps require you to know how to jump to like a perfect angle. Yes, you could get your fellow teammates to kind of help you out, if you know, to kind of boost you up or something like that. But after all, most of the time, you're probably gonna be playing solo queue. So what I would do is go to KZ, like I said, practice like your few jumps, strafing, etc., movement, how to get to certain places faster. And another thing is going to a private server, play a map like Inferno, Nuke, and just like learn ways how to get into a certain area faster. For example, like Inferno, you're trying to get into that port section, in that balcony. Most of the time people boost you up there, but like if no one could boost you, you could actually do it all by yourself. Learn a few things. It's definitely going to help you out in the long run. Callouts, like I said before, knowing the callouts on each map is another huge factor to becoming a better player, better than average. I can't stress this enough, but knowing your callouts and calling out enemies and giving information to your team is huge. Some people don't think that it's a huge play to give out information where the players are, but it could help your team a lot, and whoever is the IGL could actually create ideas to win the round. This will help your team to understand what's going on in the map. This game made it a lot easier to tell where you are. You could easily call out one of the names that is under your minimap. Don't be that guy that doesn't give a call out to their team. And secondly, don't be that guy that gives false call outs. Happened to me so many times. The amount of times I hear from my friends or teammates, he's in control room, it's better to say was at control room. This will trigger your teammate's brain or your brain that he could have moved somewhere else and positioned himself instead of watching one area and then get killed from a side or in the back. This is by far one of the easiest things to master out of all the things I have mentioned. This is all the information I could give you guys. If you do like this video and want to see more helpful tips about the game, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Doesn't hurt me, supports me. I really appreciate it. It would mean the whole world to me, and I hope this helped you guys out, and I hope you guys win more games in your competitive or premier lobbies. I wish you the best on your upcoming matches. I see you all in the next video. Take care. Be safe. Peace.